So we're going to start with Miro. Now, his artistic career is characterized as one of persistent experimentation and a lifelong flirtation with non-objectivity. His signature biomorphic forms, geometric shapes, and semi-abstracted objects are expressed in multiple media, from ceramics and engravings to large bronze installations. So he's experimenting not only with form, but with technique and material. He also conducts his own surrealism-inspired exploration. He invented a new kind of pictorial space in which we see carefully rendered, fairly realistic objects juxtaposed with basic recognizable forms. For example, we would see a sickle moon and a simplified dog as well as a ladder. Now, Miro balanced the spontaneity and automatism encouraged by the surrealists with meticulous planning and rendering to achieve finished works that, because of their precision, seemed plausibly representational despite their considerable level of abstraction. So this is a fancy way of saying that because we have all of this abstraction, it sort of stands out. His abstraction stands out because we get something that looks almost representational, almost realistic, although realistic from some other world, because he's so careful with his positioning and with his depictions. So we start with the farm, and here we can see a mix of that pure abstraction as well as realistic forms. One of the threads running through Miro's work is his sense of something almost supernatural in the land, from which he felt he derived his vital energy in the same way that a tree derives its energy from its roots. This painting is often described as detailist because of the minute inventory of the rural world that the artist undertook in painting it. As we look at it, there's just incredible amounts of information added to the painting. And here we're looking at one of those details. The diverse landscapes and objects always appear under an intense uniform light, as if illuminated by some mysterious energy of the earth. When you look at the whole thing, there's not the usual set light where we have light from one direction. It seems almost universally lit, as if lighting, chiaroscuro, all of those ideas of volume were somehow set aside, and instead we're told to focus on the form of the object. Now, the farm was painted on Miro's return from his first trip to Paris, which culminated this stage of his life. He then immediately preceded the decisive influence they exerted on his work by surrealism, beginning in 1924. So this work is happening just before he turns completely surrealist, but yet we can see some of that surrealism already forming in the farm. We see some unconscious ideas such as the illumination of the objects or the details, which are supposed to give us this sense of otherworldly energy. Or really, imagine it this way. There's always a place for everyone. There's a place somewhere that you just feel really comfortable. It might be outdoors. It might be at your parents' home. It might be in your home. It could be anywhere. It could be around the world. But it's that one place where you seem to get all sorts of energy every time you visit, you feel really good about, you feel really comfortable with. He's trying to capture that energy and show it to us. And in doing so, he's taking something non-tangible, this energy that you can't actually see, and he's trying to make it tangible through his paintings, which is what makes this surrealist, even though it predates the ideas of surrealism. So he's already showing those ideas before surrealism is formally sort of a thing.